We were told that the engine had new injectors. As a matter of fact, 50 over injectors. It's clean. I mean, really clean. The insides of these boards right here, where the actual high pressure is, it's really clean. Usually when you pull the injection lines, you pull the valve covers and such on these LB7s, the insides of these are really nasty and just full of deposit. But, yeah, overall, they look good. Wow, this injector looks brand new. All right, here we go. The biggest fuel modification for the WifeMax. I'm so excited. So I went ahead and ordered 100 over injector nozzles from S&S Diesel. And I'm gonna be getting those slapped on there. What I did is I went ahead and shipped them off to Ryan's diesel service. I had some suspicions whether or not they were actually newer. I just wanted to pull them out and see. I mean, we're already there because we're installing these valve covers. So of course, if you're pulling a valve cover and you're already there, especially if you guys own an LB7 Duramax, of course you're gonna wanna go ahead and pull the injectors out. It makes perfect sense. The truck's been down for weeks. Honestly, I've been waiting on funding and a bunch of other things I don't really wanna get into, but we ordered 100 over injector nozzles for these injectors. So you know that saying, you get what you pay for? You guys are probably wondering, why are you doing a nozzle slap or a nozzle replacement when you could just get new injectors, new upgraded Bosch injectors, put some nice nozzles on there, have S&S Diesel just do it at their shop. That's a great plan. So this is what happened. This is the story right here. So I reached out to S&S and I said, look guys, I'm gonna be installing your injector nozzles. They had no idea. I'm gonna mention it in a video. I really like their company. I've heard a lot of good things about S&S. And I decided to go with them. So when I told them I was doing a video, they in turn reached out and said, hey, send me your injectors, and what we'll do is we'll actually do a flow test on them, find out where your injectors are. Then after that, we'll go ahead and put the nozzles on, then test them at their state-of-the-art facility, and then get the readings, show you guys, you know, if they were even effective. And then at that point, they're gonna go ahead and rebuild the injectors, then put the new nozzles on, test it again. So I told you guys the last video, if I'm not mistaken, that I wanted to do sort of a mini series on injectors, nozzle swaps. Are they good? Are they bad? Pros and cons, stuff like that. But what better way to test this theory than use WifeMax? We already have her torn apart, so I think this is great. What I ended up doing is I had Ryan actually order the injector nozzles, since you know he is a diesel shop, he has access to all that stuff. And what I did is I ripped my injectors out of my truck. I went ahead and pulled all of them out. I packaged them and I shipped them to Wisconsin. I'm in another state, guys. I don't live in Wisconsin. Basically, when he received them, I just said, hey, can you do me a giant favor, Ryan? Can you put the nozzles on? That'd be really great. And then just ship them out to me so I can get these things in there so we can just get this HSP kit one and done. Get this truck out of the garage finally and finally see my wife drive it for the first time in real life. That'd be great. But it is kind of funny because after I got off the phone with S&S Diesel, I thought about it for a second and I'm like, oh no, I gotta tell Ryan. I have to tell Ryan because I wasn't even sure if Ryan already did the nozzle swaps yet. I had no idea. And Ryan was like, man, I had it actually on the bench. I had them all laid out and I was actually ready to put them on. Dude, you caught me at the best time. Seriously, I'm literally on my way back to go ahead and pull those nozzles off, the stock injectors that you sent me. As a matter of fact, this is exactly how it went.
Ryan's Diesel Service.
Hey Ryan, buddy, how's it going? Hey listen, my injectors should already be there. I packaged them up. All I need you to do is just do the nozzle swaps. That's it.
All right, yeah, that sounds good, man. I'll get right on it for you. All right, nozzles are in, 100 overs. So see, we got the 100 over S&S injector nozzles. We're gonna go ahead and put these on.
Hey Ryan, the phone's ringing.
Hey Ryan, the phone's ringing. Hey Ryan, your phone's ringing. Ryan, the phone's ringing!
Hey Ryan, your phone's ringing.
Oh.
Ryan's Diesel Service.
What's up? It's Truckmaster.
Hey, how's it going?
Ryan, I just got the phone with S&S and they said that they're actually going to rebuild the injectors. So I hope you didn't put the nozzles on the injectors.
You got some pretty good timing. I literally have them all laid out on the bench, just about ready to assemble them.
Did you? That was close. Hey, if you can you package those up and send them to S&S for me, please? Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's not a problem. I can definitely go and get them shipped down to them.
That's kind of how it went. You guys are probably like, why do I watch this guy? Seriously. So at the end of the video, Ryan, your phone is ringing. It's probably going to be stuck in your head. You guys got to stay tuned. Next week when I receive the injectors, they're going to be coming in really soon. I'm not going to sleep until this truck is done. You got to think about how significant this build is. Of course, we have the bundle kit. We have the HSP bundle kit. We have the RDS 68mm turbo. We have a Dodge Cummins rear end. I'll just generalize it. It's a Dodge rear end, so it's posi. And we also have the Kodiak truck transfer case, the built transfer case, as well as a built transmission. We're talking about all fresh clutches and steels, as well as a Go-Ren triple disc torque converter. And Kodiak truck, Mark, he actually built the entire 5-speed Allison transmission. So if you're ever curious on how to install or how to rebuild a 6-speed Allison transmission, I actually did a full instructional video. It's like an hour long on how to rebuild an Allison 1000 6-speed with Mark. But we've never done it with a 5-speed, so I may actually do a video in the future. If you guys want to see me do a 5-speed rebuild video, let me know in the comments. I'm curious if you guys would be interested in seeing that. The process is a little different between the 5-speed and the 6-speed. Not only do we have a built transmission, but we also have head studs on this truck already. So the studs are already set. Now we're going to be moving up to 100 over S&S injectors. So, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention a 10mm Exergy CP3 pump. So a fuel injection pump. But what's very interesting is the truck is not tuned at all. It's sitting on stock tuning. So hopefully we can get that knocked out once all the upgrades are installed. But right now, I'm just trying to get this thing built. That's where I'm at right now. Bottom end is not built. It has never been touched from my understanding. And the front differential has not been touched. I know it doesn't look like much. Let's be honest, it's just a white truck. 6.6 liter Duramax, that's all it is. But when you guys continue to follow this build and see what kind of transformation it's going to turn into, it's definitely worth your time. So make sure you guys hit that notification bell. Don't miss an episode. Basically, we want to go ahead and answer some of those questions about injectors, swaps. Basically, is it worth it? There's some pros and cons to it. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and thank you and continue to follow these builds. We'll see you on the next video. Stay tuned.
Eric, say, hey Ryan, the phone's ringing. Hey Ryan, the phone's ringing.
Oh gosh, come on. Here. All right, go ahead.
Hey Ryan, the phone's ringing.
Come on, man. Use your man voice. Come on, Eric.
Hey Ryan, the phone's ringing. Come on.
I'll use it.
What do you freaking say?
That was
something.
That was kind of creepy. So,
that was.
Hey Ryan, the phone's ringing.
Logan, say hey Ryan, the phone's ringing. Ryan, the phone's ringing. Freaking.
Why?
I'm trying to make a video here, man. We need somebody to say it. Hey Ryan, your phone. It's ringing. Phone's ringing. Ryan, that sounds like you're trying to lure little kids.
Hey Ryan, your phone's ringing.
Oh. No. I'm so off now.
I think that's a tie.